Welcome back to Pop-Pop's Horsepower Shop. It is oil change weekend here down in Florida, so going to do oil change in Project S10, and the wife's Jeep also is going to need an oil change. This is the first I recorded doing the oil change on the V8-Swapped S10, so that one's up first. Let's get to it. Now, if you can see, got the S10 up on ramps. I'd let it run for a few minutes, get the oil just warmed up a little bit, just enough to make it flow a little better. Pretty simple oil change. This one, with the filter I use, takes 5.5 quarts. It is a flat tappet cam, so it does like oil with extra zinc in it. So what I have 5 quarts, well 5.5 quarts of Shell Rotella T4 10W30 motor oil. Yes, it's technically a diesel oil, but it does have the extra zinc in it these need. Oil filter, I run the Wix 51060 oil filter. As you can see, it's the long oil filter, where the one the 94 Chevy calls for is only about half that size. More filter can't be, it's got to be beneficial for sure. I also, this is probably not necessarily needed, but being it is a flat tappet cam, this came with my cam. It's from Howard's. It is their ZPM Max. It's some extra ZZDP. There's I already used half of this. There's 2 ounces left. I'm going to pour that right into the oil filter when we put it on. Just gives it a little extra zinc for the flat tappet cam. And the only tools required, this is just a 9/16. I prefer to use a 6-point socket just so we don't round it off. Oil filter wrench, because that thing gets pretty tight and it's tight quarters down there. Drain pan, cardboard. Don't want to piss off the wife and get oil all over the place. A couple rags, and being it's old, got a lot of ball joints and everything. Grease guns. We're going to get everything all greased up. Oil changed. I run the conventional oil about 4,000 miles on this, which lasts me about 4 months running this thing. So let's get under this thing and get the oil drained. All right, so we're under the truck. This is under the driver's side. So there is the drain pan for the, or the drain plug for the oil pan. And right up there, the black circle round thing, that is the oil filter. So I'm gonna go ahead and get my drain pan situated here. Get it pulled out. If you run this type of drain pan, make sure the center plug is pulled up. That's where it drains down into. And make sure the vent is popped open. If that vent is not popped open, that thing is gonna burp and splatter and go everywhere. Ask me how I know that one. So let's go ahead and get this plug out and get this stuff draining. Make sure the drain pan's pulled over here far enough. And there we go. Let that drain a while. While that's draining, I'm just going to go ahead and start greasing some of the ball joints. Okay, oil's still draining a little bit, so we're going to go ahead and get this grease. So up here in the front, we've got a ball joint there. There is one up top. We have the outer tie rod. We have the, so you can see there, we got the inner tie rod. We've got the pitman arm. And we got the idler arm here. That's got a couple on it. We got the center link, and then the same thing over on the other side. There is also one back on the drive shaft. So we're going to hit that one while we're under there. We'll get this all greased up and come back here in a minute. All right, so we got the band clamp there on the filter. Just make sure you have it turned the right way. You want it to where it gets tighter as you pull it. So go ahead and just get this loose. And once it gets loose enough, we should be able to get it with our fingers. There we go.
Now this is going to make a mess, so if you have a large plastic cup to put over it and unscrew it, it will make way less of a mess. I am out of cups, so we're just going to make a mess. I'll let some of that drain out there a bit. And whatever you do, make sure the O-ring is still not attached to the block, because that will create a massive leak when you go put the other one on. Again, ask me how I know that one. Let's get the new filter prepared and put that on.
We got the new filter. I am going to add, there's 2 ounces left in this. I'm going to add that right to the filter. That way when it fires right up, it goes directly into the engine. So this may not be necessary with this oil. I figure it can't hurt. And then I am going to go ahead and add probably about a half a quart of the motor oil. I know there's people that argue one way or the other. Oh, you're putting in unfiltered oil into your engine. And yes, technically that is true. But seriously, is it really gonna, not like I'm pouring it through a dirty funnel or something like that. This will build up the oil pressure much quicker, and being this is a flat tappet, I'd like to get the oil pressure built up as quick as I can. So there we go, got some fresh oil in there. Fresh oil on the O-ring. Probably add a little more. Then we're gonna go ahead and get this put back on the engine. And then fill it up, get it started, check oil pressure, and then we are good to go. All right, underneath the engine's all buttoned up, oil filter's on. I go about hand tight, and then I take the wrench and give it about another quarter to half a turn. Drain plug is in. I'm sure there's a torque spec on that drain plug. It's not much, it's not crazy tight. It's probably about 15 foot-pounds or something. I just tighten it up. Doesn't have to be crazy tight, not like what they take at Jiffy Lube and Walmart. They'll run that thing with an impact in and probably strip it out. It's got a gasket and an O-ring on it, so it doesn't have to be super tight. As long as it don't come out, you're in good shape. So we got the oil fill here. Your truck may be different. My map sensor's here. It's a little bit in the way, so we're going to get a funnel. But as you can see, living here in Florida, there is sand everywhere. Let's go ahead and blow this off. Filler cap off. And let me get a funnel. There we go. There is 5.5 quarts in there. Get that back on. Let's hop inside, get it started, and make sure we got oil pressure. Okay, here we are inside. Keep an eye on the oil pressure gauge there. And there we go. You can see we got probably 70 pounds oil pressure. That gauge is not quite right. It's actually probably more like 60. Let that run for a minute. Go ahead and check for some leaks, and then we'll make sure it is full. All right, so there we have it. No leaks. Oil is full. Went through and did air in all 4 tires. On this truck, because it's a little heavy in the front end, I run 35 pounds in the front tires, 30 in the back. That's all done, all greased up. And if you're wondering, I had it up on ramps, safety first, emergency brake was on, and the rear wheels were chocked, so it wasn't going to go anywhere. So also, just make note, make sure you take your used oil, make sure you have it recycled. Most auto parts places will take it and recycle it for free. I'm just going to run mine up to O'Reilly's and dump it in their tank. And a lot of places will take the oil filters as well. Check with them, see if they'll take the oil filter. If not, make sure you let it drain out as much as possible, and check with your local recycling. Maybe they'll take the oil filters as well. So that's it. 5.5 quarts, 10W30. As you can see, it had plenty of oil pressure. When I built this engine, I built it to factory clearances, so it's only supposed to use 5W30 or 10W30. It's hot down here in Florida. 10W30 works pretty well. Even when it's heated up, that thing will have 40 pounds of oil pressure. Any questions on that? Leave a comment below. Anything else you'd like to see, don't see, let me know. Anyway, thanks for watching. Up next, oil change on the wife's Jeep.